if you're gonna play some street bowling, don't use your dad's best ball. Once, when he caught us using his brand new Revco Dominator, he got so mad he chased us into the next county.
Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete, starring Pete, Pete's brother Pete, and introducing Ellen as Pete's girlfriend.
Look, you're a girl and you're a friend, and that's it.
Today's adventure, what would you do for $1?
We knew this kid, Carl Slurm, who ran around his backyard singing to himself like he was on a highlight film.
Yeah!
He seemed like a dink, but he knew Kung Fu. So we invited him to play. What would you do for $1?
Wow. It's humiliating.
It's the sport of Danish kings.
Pete's the world champion, but he still smells like liverwurst. Actually, after 2 years of playing, it's unclear what Pete won't do for $1.
The end. For more adventures, keep watching Nickelodeon.
Where's my money?
This is my brother Pete, and this is his tattoo. Nobody knows how he got it. All we know is this. When he flexes and the tattoo lady does a little dance, Mom faints. That's why Pete has to wear a long-sleeve shirt, even in the summer.
Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete, starring Pete, Pete's brother Pete, and introducing Ellen as Pete's girlfriend.
Listen, you're a girl and you're a friend, but you're not a girlfriend.
Today's adventure, freeze tag.
Ever play stocking head freeze tag? It's pretty much like regular freeze tag, except everybody wears stockings on their heads. Once when we were playing, we forgot to unfroze my brother Pete, and he stayed out all night. He looked so majestic, I didn't know what to do. So I invited Ellen over for some pudding.
Maybe you could use him as a human sundial. That's what they do in Africa.
Use who as a sundial?
Pete! Dad had a hard time unfreezing him, but when Mom started to cry, his tattoo began to twitch, and we knew he was okay.
The end. For more adventures, keep watching Nickelodeon.
On Christmas Eve, after Pete, Ellen, and I finished caroling, we like to look under the tree and guess what our presents are.
We got this last year.
Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete, starring Pete, Pete's brother Pete, and introducing me, Ellen. Today's adventure, Christmas Eve.
Every year, after Pete puts the finishing touches on the tree, Dad torches the holiday cheese log he gets from his boss.
So beautiful.
Then we go to bed. Last year, we heard noises downstairs, and Pete thought it was Santa. But I had a funny feeling I'd seen that butt before. It was our dad, who was unwrapping a glow-in-the-dark Frisbee we brought him because Mom said he always wanted to be a discus thrower in the Olympics.
I say we bust him.
Instead, we snuck back upstairs and watched him throw for hours. It wasn't the Star of Bethlehem or anything, but except for the grunts, it seemed kind of holy. The end.
Oh, it's carolers.
Don't open it. I bet it's that girl and those two Pete brothers.
Come on, honey.
'Tis the season to be jolly.
Oh, dear.
La 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 la, you Scrooge heads!
Merry Christmas, everybody, from Pete, Pete's brother Pete, and Ellen.
Our arch enemy is this evil kid we call Hathead because he has this permanent ridge in his head, like you get when you wear a hat for a while and then take it off.
He's a mutant.
One time, Hathead! No!
Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete, starring Pete, Pete's brother Pete, and me, Ellen. Today's adventure, Hathead.
I don't know what you've heard about Hathead, but he's actually not too bad a guy once you get to know him. Really. Sure, he's been known to pick on kids smaller than him, even girls. And I heard he once threw his uncle out of a plane. But that's beside the point. Fact is, and I'll be honest with you, Hathead is... I can't say it!
Say it!
Hathead is the...
Say it, Carrot Head!
Hathead is the greatest human ever to walk the earth!
That's more like it.
Look for more adventures of Pete and Pete every day on Nickelodeon.
I'll get you someday, Hathead. When you get right down to it, life is tough enough already without a bully named Hathead writing the word mucus on your forehead.
Nice penmanship.
It was time for revenge.
Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete, starring Pete, Pete's brother Pete, and me, Ellen. Today's adventure, Revenge of the Petes.
Hathead had to be destroyed. That much we knew. But how? And more importantly, who?
I'm Archie, the strongest man in the world.
Suddenly, we had the answer.
I'll smush Hat Head like a lima bean.
So we set up the showdown for after school.
Dastardly insect boy.
Where'd you carrot heads dig up this loser?
There wasn't really any smushing as far as I could tell.
Physics makes me strong, Hat Head. Physics.
But I had a feeling Hathead would leave us alone for a while.
Puny hat-shaped human. I bet you ride a Schwinn. Schwinn rider.
I'm getting out of here.
Come back, you eater of cheeses.
When you like someone, you know, and you only liked you as a friend, there comes a time when you get so desperate you'll take advice from anybody.
This is her new dance.
Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete, starring Pete, Pete's brother Pete, and me, Ellen. Today's adventure, Peteless. It all happened after school, when Pete and I were gluing together the major organs in this Visible Man model for our science class, and Pete said,
You know, the human heart pumps enough blood in one day to fill a swimming pool.
"That's so beautiful." It was like he was talking about my heart, you know? I just knew that meant he liked me, you know, like. So later, when we were painting the esophaguses, I gave him a heart-shaped Valentine I made, and all he said was,
This is almost exactly the same size as the heart of an adult male baboon.
that's all he said.
Did he throw a rock at you?
No.
So what are you worried about?
Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
One time, we made the mistake of letting our archenemy Hathead play crack the whip with us.
Spinning wheel. Got to go round.
He got us spinning so fast, one kid's clothes got torn off his body. I shouted for Pete to hang on, but it was too late. He got flying so far, he had to go home from a bowling alley 10 miles away.
What are you looking at?
Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
The first mission we thought of when we got this X11 autofocus camera was to spy on Russian troop movements in Armenia. But Pete stumbled upon a more daring mission. Dad flossing.
We were almost goners.
He tried to snare us with a dental floss lasso. But disguised as plumbers, we escaped across the Bulgarian border.
The end. For more adventures, keep watching Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Some spies use satellite cameras in orbit around the Earth. We like to shoot our camera from under our parents' bed.
I got a call from Pete's first grade teacher yesterday.
Oh, no. Has he been making whale noises again?
Worse, it seems he's been licking his desk.
Again?
Again?
Tastes like bacon.
What do you think we should do?
I say, throw him in the lake. Come on.
The end. For more adventures, keep watching Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
For years, Dad has suspected our neighbor, Dr. Pratt, of ruining our lawn. A special blend of hydrogenated bluegrass by secretly spitting on it.
He's at it again.
To try and catch him in the act, we hooked up our camera to Ellen's dog Hoolie and let her go. It was some of our best spy work ever.
The end. For more adventures, keep watching Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
As part of our ongoing investigation of,
Archie, the strongest man in the world.
we decided to put him under constant spy surveillance. Apart from moving our house a couple of inches, most of the time all he did was race a cabbage and yell at the river.
Watery old man river, to the sea with you. Flow on, fatty. Flow on.
The end. For more adventures, keep watching Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Even though we somehow convinced our dad to drive us to Czechoslovakia for some secret spy work, I was worried. Had Pete learned enough German to sneak us by the border guards?
Ist der Wiener Schnitzel?
Could Ellen handle a flamethrower?
Duck, duck here and a duck, duck there.
And finally, would Dad crack under the pressure of saving the free world?
Okay, who wants to stop for ice cream?
Nein!
Okay, we'll just keep going. Kids.
This is our mom, and this is her skull. When she was 12, she had an accident, and doctors had to put a metal plate in her head. She's okay and everything, but if you're ever at our house for dinner and you hear what sounds like Mexican radio, it is Mexican radio coming from the plate in my mother's head.
Dance, señorita, dance.
Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete, starring Pete and Pete's brother Pete. Today's adventure, Mom's Plate.
Other than Mexican radio, Mom's head sometimes picks up the police bands.
There's a fire on Elm Street. Maybe we can help.
And we get to go on rescues. Another great thing is, when Mom's sleeping and we want to leave her a note, we just stick it to her head with a refrigerator magnet. Also, if we don't know where she is, it's pretty easy to find her. What I like best, though, is when the reception is good.
A little to the left. Perfect.
Mom's Plate pulls in Cubs games from Chicago. On this car trip we took last summer to visit the Grand Coulee Dam, my brother Pete burped in 23 different states, Mexico, and the Grand Canyon. It wasn't until we got home that our dad flipped out.
That does it.
Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete, starring Pete and Pete's brother Pete. Today's adventure, the burping room.
Using a napkin as a blueprint and pausing only to eat an occasional chicken pot pie, he built this soundproof burping room in just 10 days.
You open the airlock, turn on the intake valve, and you burp into the tube. Take it into the room, mister.
Pete had to spend most of his free time in the burping room, and he said he didn't mind. But after inventing 14 new kinds of burps, including the experimental grumbler you may have heard about, he got lonely and gave up. He says he's learned his lesson, but I've seen him in the backyard recently, burping in a bag, and I know he's up to something. The way I figure it, even if I got a job eating eyeballs, it would still be better than the job I had last summer. Seriously. Somehow my brother Pete had gotten a job as a stockbroker. Ellen was teaching old people how to air swim. And me, I ended up on Route 34 cutting the longest, stupidest lawn in the world.
It's a dog-eat-dog world, baby.
Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete, starring Pete, Pete's brother Pete, and me, Ellen. Today's adventure, Route 34.
Around the 170-mile mark, I get so bored, I begin asking myself deep philosophical questions. Like, do dogs go to dog heaven when they die, or do they go to regular heaven? Then I try to blow up passing cars with psychic energy. It only worked once. Then the heat would get to me, and I'd start hallucinating about Ellen. Maybe because she owed me money, but then there she was, with a popsicle and her air swimming cap still on.
Hi!
I told her I still had 6 miles to go, but she said,
I'll just walk with you a little ways then.
At this funeral we had for Pete's smashed jack-o'-lantern, I remember thinking, okay, so Mussolini was this fiendish dictator, and Darth Vader is Mr. Evil. But what about a kid like our archenemy Hathead, who stalks the night pulverizing kids' pumpkins?
Bye, Jack.
You died not in vain, Pumpkinhead.
Somebody had to stop him that Halloween, and that somebody was us.
Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete, starring Pete, Pete's brother Pete, and me, Ellen. Today's adventure, Halloween.
Munching candy corn for energy, we tracked Hathead's path of destruction all the way to the state line.
Hathead, no!
Put it down, you good bucket.
Who's gonna make me?
Artie, the strongest man in the world. That's who.
Stay back!
Cowardly gourd smasher. You must pay for your crime.
When Artie got him with his patented proton push, it wasn't pretty, but he got what he deserved. Besides, he turned into a pretty nice jack-o'-lantern for a Hathead. What made me want to push our bandleader, Mr. Putney, off a cliff with my trombone slide was the time he made my friend Ellen cry when she was practicing to be the Dot. That dot's the letter I in our team name, the Columbia Fighting Squids.
You call yourself a dot?
Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete, starring Pete, Pete's brother Pete, and me, Ellen. Today's adventure, the Dot.
When Ellen never came home after morning practice, her parents got worried. So Pete and I split up and started searching the city. Have you seen a dot, brown hair this tall? Looks like that. That afternoon, we met up at Langley Stadium, half expecting to find Mr. Putney draining spit valves. But no, there she was.
I am a dot.
Trying to achieve total dotosity, which is tough to do without an eye to be dotting, especially when you're holding a French horn. So I went over to help. Pete said we weren't the best letter I he ever saw, but I had a funny feeling it didn't really matter. My friend Ellen's dad stares a lot at the spinning kilowatt wheels inside their electricity meter. and I guess it's okay. But when Ellen says,
It helps them think.
I have to wonder, because he bet my dad that his radio-controlled car could beat my dad's station wagon in a race.
What a schmo. Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete, starring Pete, Pete's brother Pete, and me, Ellen. Today's adventure, the big race.
After Ellen put the Ellen's Dad action figure she made into the driver's seat, the countdown began. Then they were off. It was close for a little while, but then incredibly, Ellen's dad began to pull away.
This isn't happening.
As he burned towards the finish line, driving like a mad genius of steering, I thought about those spinning kilowatt wheels. And I realized what had happened. He's hypnotized. Somehow, being hypnotized had given him incredible driving powers. At first, my dad didn't believe me, but lately, he's been staring at the washing machine a lot, and I know he's thinking about a rematch. This is my brother Pete, and this is him waxing our front yard. Usually, he just gets grounded for messing with my dad's power tools, but this time, Dad got so mad.
Inside!
He gave Pete the worst punishment ever.
Bring it on, Baldy. Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete, starring Pete and Pete's brother Pete. Today's adventure, the punishment.
To try and teach him a lesson, our dad made Pete stand perfectly still while he watched a family slideshow on his shirt.
Are you sorry yet?
No!
I see. Well, then perhaps our trip to Akron will change your mind.
Not Akron!
The standoff went on and on into the night, until finally there were only 2 slides left. Pete, as a baby.
Oh, Pete, I'm sorry. Give your dad a hug.
Pete never did say he was sorry, but Dad didn't seem to care.
Little boy.
This is my friend Ellen, and this is her Orbitron 9 rocket. With the help of a mega booster, her plan is to blast it past the Earth's orbit, where maybe some alien life forms will find the message in its payload, and then contact her. She's also sending them some chickles, in case they chew gum.
I hope they like peppermint.
The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Starring Pete, Pete's brother Pete, and me, Ellen. Today's adventure, the launch.
As the countdown began,
T-minus 13
Pete gave the
seconds.
bug astronaut some final advice.
Don't look down.
I checked Ellen's message for spelling mistakes, while Artie, the strongest man in the world,
Move along, fat ducks.
kept the birds out of our flight path.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
As the rocket burned toward the stars, I knew that even if they didn't need gum out there, they could always use a friend like Ellen.
I'll be waiting for you.
It all might have started with a feverish dream he had, but for most of last year, my brother Pete was totally obsessed with the idea that Santa Claus was the first man ever to swim the English Channel.
The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Starring Pete and Pete's brother Pete. Today's adventure, Pete's Theory.
Pete was positive that on April 12, 1901, Santa Claus swam the famed 22.3-mile English Channel to prove to the world he was still going strong. No one took Pete too seriously, but that didn't stop him. First, he corrected all the town's record books. Then, he tried to tell the world what had happened. Our dad felt so bad about no one believing Pete that he volunteered to play Santa in a historic recreation of the famous swim. Sure, it wasn't the real English Channel or anything, but for Pete, it was like a dream come true. Every morning when we go out to face the 1,440 minutes that make up our day, it's nice to know that Artie, the strongest man in the world, is out there, somewhere, looking after us.
Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete. Starring Pete, Pete's brother Pete, and me, Ellen. Today's adventure,
Artie, the strongest man in the world.
No one knows the full extent of his powers, but once he saved us from this maniac schnauzer.
Your kind never learns, does it, Flabby?
By making him fetch a baton, he threw all the way to Scandinavia. Another time, he protected us from the deadly wrath of the evil Mrs. Gillespie, without even flinching.
Your weapons are useless against me.
He says his secret weapon is his costume. It's a 60-40 blend. You just take it out of the dryer, and instantly, you're ready to fight.
Evil!
To us, the world's a little bit safer with Artie on duty.
10,
He knew he was taking a big risk. But on one cloudless spring night around 2:04 a.m., my brother Pete stared directly into the electromagnetic vortex of a lunar eclipse for a full 11 seconds.
Yes. Nickelodeon presents The Adventures of Pete and Pete, starring Pete and Pete's brother Pete. Today's adventure, X-Ray Man.
The eye doctor didn't think the eclipse had affected Pete's vision.
Dipstick.
But I began to wonder. Suddenly, he was impossible to beat at hide-and-go-seek.
I see you.
Then he got a job at the airport inspecting luggage. When I caught him watching TV outside the house, I finally figured it out. My brother Pete had X-ray vision. Ellen was doubtful. But just to be safe, I made her wear a lead smock, like the kind a dentist gives you. Not even Superman can see your underpants through lead.
You've been rump riding the sofa for the last half hour watching TV. Now it's time to get up and get strong with your personal trainer,
Archie, the strongest man in the world.
It's the Artie Workout. Let's start with aerobics.
Howdy, baby. And
to get his blood going, Artie likes to warm up with a brief aerobic workout. Follow along.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for the Deutschlanders. And 12 and 11.
Your lungs, your heart, your tonsils. Aerobics the Artie way makes everything feel good. Next, let's work on your upper body. Here's an exercise everyone can do right at home. First, grasp your house by the corner, like so. Bend your knees and lift in an upward direction.
I'm Jack LaLanne, all rolled into one.
Lifting your house or your neighbor's house is great for your upper abs.
Look at the work, puny viewer. Look at the work!
Finally, Artie recommends running. It's the most power-building exercise there is, and the true test of your competitive edge.
It's coleslaw for you, worthless green head. Mark. Think rotten carrot. Get set. Lousy salad stuffer. Cabbage goes down.
So remember, the Artie Workout, aerobics, lifting, running, and of course,
don't eat metal. Don't eat metal!
You all can't be superheroes, but you can be fit, just like Artie.
The strongest man in the world. Yeah.
And now, on to the Pete's next adventure.
Instead of just staring at your TV like you've been doing for the past half hour, why not put that blank look to use? Playing America's fastest growing sport, the staring contest. Here's a few tips from the Pete's to you.
Stairmaster, the Pete Guide to Staring Contests.
First, it's always smart to warm up by practicing your moves against easy opponents. Trees are a good place to start. Then, when you're feeling a little more confident,
I will break you. I will snap you like a yacht.
Work your way up to lawn furniture.
I'm destroying you.
Now that you're all limbered up and ready for some eyeball-to-eyeball action, let's talk strategy.
In the game we play, Blinking is okay, but if you laugh, you lose. So if your opponent is funny, try relaxing your eyes so that his face becomes blurry. But be careful. Too much relaxation, and you might start to see double, quadruple, or worse. Armed with a 16-to-1 advantage, your opponent will have little trouble crushing you like a bug. Another classic defense strategy involves exposing yourself to a flashbulb before staring. The resulting blind spot gives you the instant advantage.
No matter how strong your defense is, you'll find yourself sitting at the back of the loser bus unless you also develop a strong offense. Let's have a look at your face arsenal.
The most popular assault weapon, the mouth, comes with a number of options, including the Eradicator, the Rabid Gopher, and the Mighty Tongue Flexor Twist, which has recently been banned in the state of Utah. Next, conveniently located in the center of your face, the nose. A powerful weapon used primarily to fire deadly nostril flares. Our final stop on your face is the ear. If you're one of the rare genetic freaks with wiggle capability, you've got a weapon that is virtually unstoppable.
Now that you know the fundamentals and you're raring to stare, let's take a quick timeout for some important safety tips.
Be careful playing against superheroes. For example, never get in a staring contest with someone who has heat vision.
I'm sorry, my little Viking.
Okay. You're ready for the ultimate test. An eyeball-to-eyeball showdown with one of the greatest stars of our time, my brother Pete. Try to remember what you've learned.
Utilize a strong defense. Attack with your face arsenal. Finally, and most importantly, don't laugh.
I'm sorry, Blowhole, but I'm gonna have to destroy you.
Did it. Very impressive. Now that you've beaten Pete, you're ready to beat the world. It's okay.
I'll be back.
And now, on to our next adventure.